Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there was a girl named Tessa. It was her very first day stepping into a brand spanking new college, and this one was quite a trek from her home. To ease her nerves, her mom, Carol, and her boyfriend, Noah, decided to give her a lift to her new dorm. As they arrived, Tessa was greeted by two bubbly girls named Steph and Tristan, who seemed to exude energy like it was going out of style. But amidst the excitement, Carol caught a whiff of something funky in the air and made a swift exit. Tessa, not wanting to make a scene, hurried after her, pleading with her not to blow things out of proportion. Promising her mom that she had everything under control, Tessa bid farewell to Carol, who left with a mixture of pride and apprehension. With Noah giving her a sweet kiss goodbye, Tessa was left to navigate her new surroundings. Back in her dorm room, Steph couldn't resist poking fun, asking if Tessa had sent her mom into a frenzy. Tessa chuckled, correcting Steph by stating that Noah was indeed her boyfriend, not her brother. With that, Steph darted out of the room, leaving Tessa to settle into her new college life. As the morning sun kissed the horizon, Tessa eagerly bounded towards her classroom, anticipation dancing in her eyes. Inside, she encountered Landon, a student majoring in English, a sharp contrast to Tessa's economics studies. Despite their differences, Tessa radiated excitement for the day ahead. Returning to her dorm after a refreshing bath, Tessa was taken aback to find a mysterious guy lounging with a book. Startled, she demanded he leave, but he calmly reassured her, prompting Steph's arrival to confirm his identity as a friend. Steph extended an invitation to a party, though the guy doubted Tessa's interest, much to her annoyance as he spoiled the ending of her beloved book, The Great Gatsby. The following day, tension hung thick in the air as Tessa once again found herself face to face with the mysterious guy in the library. Their eyes met briefly, sending a shiver down Tessa's spine. Later, Steph approached Tessa, insisting she join the party that night. Initially resistant, Tessa resolved to shake things up. Selecting a dress, Steph raised an eyebrow at its formality, but Tessa was determined to make a statement. Tessa's thrown into a wild party where laughter and music are in full swing. She meets Steph's crew, a bunch of quirky characters. With a little push, Tessa takes a shot, shrugging off a sassy remark from one of the crowd. When the party game of truth or dare kicks off, Tessa's game. She ducks a personal question about her love life, opting for dare instead. But when the troublemaker of the group comes knocking with a risky challenge, Tessa's out of there in a flash. Needing some comfort, Tessa hits up her boyfriend, Noah, for a chat. But instead of a pep talk, she gets a gentle scolding for hitting the bottle. Feeling a bit down, she hangs up and seeks solace in a quiet storage spot, surrounded by dusty old books. But her peace is short-lived as the mysterious guy from earlier shows up, leading to a mix of feelings. He assures her he's sober, revealing the room's his hideout, and takes her hand. With a daring suggestion hanging in the air, Tessa's torn. As they lean in for a possible smooch, Tessa pumps the brakes, feeling unsure. Heading back to her room, Tessa's phone buzzes with messages from Noah, providing a reassuring touch after the whirlwind of the night. As she drifts off to sleep, Noah's words offer her a sense of calm in the chaos. The next day rolls in, and Tessa settles into her usual spot in class beside Landon. But the guy from the party, Hardin Scott, turns out to be a newbie too. As the professor delves into a discussion about a romance book, opinions clash. Hardin argues that love is just a transaction, with everyone wired to desire certain traits that can be switched on and off like a light. Tessa, on the other hand, disagrees, citing examples of women in the past rejecting mistreatment, which she finds fascinating. Their debate gets heated, and after class, Hardin approaches Tessa to acknowledge the fiery exchange before making a swift exit. Tessa vents to Landon about Hardin's arrogance, only to discover that they're linked. Hardin's mom is dating Landon's dad, and their relationship is far from harmonious. Later that night, as Steph gets inked, she invites Tessa to join in. Tessa shares that Noah is her one and only, and her mom's already planning their wedding. Caught off guard by Steph's romantic moment with her partner, Tessa looks away, feeling a bit awkward. The next day, Tessa's minding her own business, grabbing a coffee when Hardin approaches her. Seeking to bury the hatchet and start fresh as friends, he suggests showing her around since they have Steph in common. Though hesitant, Tessa ultimately agrees to give it a shot, opting to step out of her comfort zone. They hit the road in his ride, cruising a few miles until they stumbled upon a spot straight out of a jungle adventure. Amidst the wild greenery, Tessa's eyes lit up as they stumbled upon a massive lake, Instagram-worthy for sure. "This is my spot," Hardin declared, inviting her for a swim. With a grin, he stripped down and cannonballed into the water, daring her to join him. Pressing her to dive in, he tossed his shirt her way for cover. As she changed, he gave her some space, eyes on the horizon. Together, they plunged into the cool waters, living their best life. In a heart-to-heart, Tessa asked about love, only to learn that Hardin's true love was, well, himself. Curious about her own romantic saga, she spilled about her high school sweetheart. As they splashed around, their connection deepened with each touch. Later, they hit up a hip bar where Tessa grilled Hardin about his past. Dodging the questions, he kept it light, leaving her laughing. But things got awkward when Hardin's crew rolled up, making him act all weird. Eventually, he confessed that while they had a blast, he wasn't into anything serious. Feeling let down, Tessa headed back to her dorm, only to find Hardin chilling beside her in the morning, a vivid reminder of a dream that felt way too real. The next day, she's stunned to find her boyfriend outside with a bouquet of flowers. Tessa's mind races with disbelief. How did he find her here? That night, both Tessa and Noah hit up a party where things take a wild turn. Steph and her crew suggest playing the infamous suck and blow game. When it's Tessa's turn, she opts out and Noah steps in to protect her. But before things escalate, Hardin swoops in and a brawl breaks out, ending with Hardin storming off. Later, Tessa's chilling with Noah, but something's bothering her. A call from Landon pulls her away. Turns out, Hardin's in a rough spot and mentioned her name. Concerned, she rushes to meet him. In a heart-to-heart, Hardin spills about his family drama. His dad's marrying Landon's mom while his own mom's struggling back in London. Things take a dangerous turn when broken glass leaves Tessa injured, and Hardin takes her to his room to patch her up, apologizing for his earlier behavior. Both a mess in their own ways, they share a moment of vulnerability, leading to an unexpected night spent together. The next morning, Tessa faces Noah's worry and disappointment head-on as he realizes what went down. Heartbroken, she heads back to her dorm, feeling the weight of losing a best friend. In class, she's a shell of herself, trying to reach out to Noah amidst her sadness. But one day, she crosses paths with Hardin outside, and they decide to talk. As they open up, Tessa reveals the pain of her father leaving when she was just a kid, with Noah stepping in as her rock. Though he's her best friend, there's something more between them, she confesses. One day, Hardin convinces Tessa to stay late at the library, promising an adventure before closing time. He's engrossed in a book while she lounges in his lap, the perfect picture of modern romance. When security catches wind of their mischief, they bolt, laughing like a couple of teenagers. It's a scene straight out of a rom-com, one they'll be reminiscing about for ages. Their friends can't help but notice their budding relationship, especially with Hardin crashing Tessa's classes just to shower her with compliments. But amidst the playful teasing and stolen moments, there's a flicker of intrigue when Tessa catches Hardin scribbling in a mysterious notebook. With a mischievous glint in his eye, he teases her relentlessly, keeping his secrets close. Their banter soon gives way to tender moments of intimacy, each one strengthening their bond. Their bliss is shattered when Tessa's mom walks in on them in a compromising position. Furious and blindsided, she places blame on Tessa's unsuspecting roommate, convinced that boys spell trouble. But Tessa stands her ground, asserting her independence and right to love whoever she chooses. Seeking guidance from her friend Landon, Tessa receives a cautionary warning about Hardin's complexities, urging her to proceed with caution. In a bold move, Hardin whisks Tessa off to a charming villa in Italy, a hidden gem belonging to a friend of his father's. With her mother cutting her off, it's the logical next step. Their new life is a whirlwind of adventure and shared moments, each one strengthening their bond. Despite Hardin's lingering doubts, Tessa remains steadfast in her love, convinced that nothing will ever change the way she feels about him. They attend the wedding celebration of Hardin and Landon's parents, where they mingle with Karen and her new partner. Tessa's charm doesn't go unnoticed, but the sight of his father with another woman sets Hardin on edge. Tessa tries to soothe his nerves, but the unease lingers. When Hardin's father takes the mic, his words of praise for his son ring hollow to Tessa. She senses there's more to the story than meets the eye, a feeling reinforced by his cryptic remarks about change and the past. Amidst the bittersweet atmosphere, they steal away for a dance, locking eyes with a shared understanding. Seeking solace, they slip into a secluded room, where Tessa decides to seize the moment for some intimacy. Their tranquility is shattered when Tessa catches Molly's envious glare, sparking intrusive questions about Hardin. Tessa brushes them off, but doubts start to gnaw at her. The tension reaches a breaking point when Molly sends a suspicious text from Hardin's phone, sending Tessa into a tailspin. Confronting him, she demands transparency, but Hardin's assurances do little to quell her growing unease. With uncertainty gnawing at her, Tessa receives a cryptic message from a friend, leading her to a mysterious rendezvous spot. There, she encounters Jade unexpectedly, setting off a chain of revelations. Tessa spills the beans about her living situation with Hardin to Steph and her crew. But it's Molly who drops the bombshell, a video from their first Truth or Dare game, exposing Hardin's secret dare to make Tessa fall for him. Feeling blindsided and betrayed, Tessa confronts Hardin, who insists his feelings were genuine. But with trust shattered, Tessa refuses to linger in the shadows of doubt, choosing to walk away rather than linger in uncertainty. Feeling utterly alone in the world, Tessa retreats to her home and finds solace in the embrace of her mother. Though she's not ready to spill the beans about what really happened, she's there to offer a heartfelt apology and express her love. After the emotional reunion, Tessa seeks out Noah, who's puzzled by her sudden appearance. She assures him that she never meant to hurt him, and they share a moment of laughter, easing the tension. Back at the university, Tessa makes a bold decision, drafting an email to change her major from economics to English, following her true passion. Meanwhile, Hardin struggles to come to terms with their separation, overcome with emotion as he recalls the moments they shared together. A glimmer of hope appears when Tessa receives an interview invitation for an internship at Vance Publishing. During a lecture, her teacher hands her an envelope from Hardin, explaining that it's meant more for Tessa than for herself. Inside, Tessa discovers sketches of herself in Hardin's notebook, along with a heartfelt letter. Hardin pours his heart out, admitting that he once believed love was nothing more than fiction until he found his own Elizabeth Bennet in Tessa. He asks for forgiveness, revealing that Tessa is the person he loves most in the world. As the movie draws to a close, Tessa is left with a mix of emotions, but above all, a sense of hope for the future and the possibility of reconciliation with Hardin. And that's where this video ends. Watch the next one and take care.